morning, good morning. What's up, everybody? It is a crazy weather morning here in Colorado and Denver. We have had low-hanging fog. I was gonna start this one super early. One of these, I think maybe if I do another one this week, I'll do both of them so you guys can see what it's really like getting up that early. I usually only do the second of the two. Plus, I'm more awake. At the first one, you guys are gonna have to deal with some grogginess, but we'll wake up together. But yeah, I'm dealing with, I can barely see, and I forgot my glasses, but I can barely see like past this light to the next light, and it's not that far. It's really, really bad today. Smack that like. What's up, Gigwise? What's up, Derek? What's up, Daphne? How are you guys doing? Hit that like for me so I don't die in this fog. I don't know what this is. We haven't had fog like this in a long time. Feels like the late 1800s in London or something. So I've got about 600 pounds of paint in the back, and second of the two runs, and hopefully it won't take me that long. I'm using Apple Maps because I even was talking to the location. This was not the Parker Sherman-Williams. This is the North Glen, which is for a littler facility. It's great, but for some reason, I mean, worst spot to have this Sherman-Williams because it has 0 cells there. You cannot get any cells on your phone. So even like sometimes if I have a question, I can pull up Apple Maps and be like, is this right? Is this where it is? And to the person that was there, the lady running the counter this morning, all she could do was point me to my order and say, well, this is yours, go in there. And I said, do you know where it is? Because I can't even pull up maps. I just want to make sure it's gonna be right. And she said I don't. And she has Wi-Fi there too. I was like, yeah, you can't get on Apple Maps there because it wasn't busy. And so, why isn't that going? That should be going. Okay. But yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, at least I'm going to Commerce City, which is where it is, but there's like Yampa Court, there's Yampa Street, there's Yampa Circle, and actually like 2 or 3 of them right now are Avenue. There like 2 of them are pre-builds right now, so it's kind of a crapshoot here. And I don't know why it's not routing me. Weird. Can't even get this damn thing to route. No idea where I am. I know I'm trying to get over to Washington Street, so what is that? Oh, that's Boondocks. Okay, now I know where I am a little. This is really annoying. And then what I'm gonna take Pearl to 104th. 104th cross. Fuck you. It's like fucking, you can't see anywhere. And some tweaker in fucking Northville almost swiped my car pulling out today. I flipped him off, and I forget that, or when you're up in Thornton and North Glen, I forget that It's all tweakers up here. And the guy flipped me off back and kind of gave me a fake side swipe too. Like, I think he was willing to side swipe me. He didn't give a shit. This is Pearl. Where the fuck am I? God damn, I can't see a damn thing. Yeah, Daphne, I see that you'd be stressed out. You should have seen this morning at 4:45 when I got out on the road. I mean, I had to let my car go for 10 minutes just to get the windows cleared out. I couldn't even tell if it was the inside or the outside. I'm at Washington, not Pearl. I'll take Washington anyway. Is this 104th? I can't see shit. Nope, that's 112th. Bad idea. You know what? I'm gonna have to just blow a light. Man, this driving's getting wait, you gig-wise you probably know, but does Curri consider an overnight hold? Yeah, Curri has overnight holds. What do you mean? What's up, Cody? What's up, Traveler? I'm not able to pay a lot of attention, but it's not that far before I get there. I mean, I think it's like 25 minutes or something, but I am dealing with some just messed up weather, and I drive through the rain, hail, snow all the time up in the high country even. But with this low pressure fog, I can't see nothing. This is really rare that we get this like this, but is this 104? It's gotta be. Nope. Nice job, Steve. You just screwed up. Yeah. Oh, Garland. Shit. Man. Yeah, overnight holds usually pay more money too. So, yes, there is overnight hold. Sometimes you might even get called to pick up somebody else's drop gig-wise where they dropped, let's say they dropped something at 6:05 and the location that they dropped at is closed. So I'm going quite a far ways on 104th here. All right. But sometimes, yeah, like somebody will drop something at 6:05 at a Sherman-Williams, let's say, and it's a micro center Sherman-Williams, and they've closed, and they'll assign a driver if they can't get a hold of that driver again. If he dropped it, they'll assign another driver to go and get it, overnight hold it, and then deliver it to the same location they picked it up from in the morning. And usually, that first driver. This sucks because that first driver can get in a lot of trouble because if it's paint, we all know the rule. Even you guys who are waiting to get on Curri probably already know the rule if you've watched enough of these. Don't leave paint outside. If the Sherman-Williams is closed, you've left it inside. So, I mean, again, Curri dispatched you to go get it and take it there. And if you did it quickly and then the place is closed, it's like, you know, what am I supposed to do? Take all this home? It gets a little confusing. But, you know, now they have the new in button help feature so that if you are on a active delivery, you can hit help, and you're supposed to. I haven't needed to do it yet, but I think gig-wise you were testing it too, but you're supposed to be able to get somebody within 5 minutes, a live person if you need it. You can try chat, but if you need it, you can get a live person. What is that? And this is really confusing. Derby. Oh, so that's 76. This is so weird. Okay, so after 76. At least it's starting to lift as the sun comes up, or at least the sun's coming up. I mean, it felt like those werewolf movies from the 1800s in London. That's how I felt this morning, and that's how rare it is. We do get fog here, but we had a severe low pressure, and we're the Mile High City. We're a mile above sea level, so when there's low pressure, it just is like it's like you're sitting in a cloud. So you're just literally going off tail lights and brake lights. So I was taking their time this morning. I saw one guy. I even have the footage on my dash cam of this guy who was taking a left, and we have mediums onto like a 3-road each way street. Ellen, how are you? I haven't seen you in forever, Ellen. How are you doing? Oh, gig-wise, have you had to use the help feature? See, I haven't had to use it. And I even asked Jesse, I was like, should I use it? Should I try it and see? And he's like, no, don't use it unless you need to, but it works. I just know that the one downside that I don't mention a lot of Curri, because it's not, I don't want to diss on him. I don't like dissing on Curri, but it's something they've had a little trouble with too. But they, they've worked with a couple of different companies since they were very small. When I first started 2.5 years ago, you would call support and get an agent. Then they went to a company that outsourced like kind of human/bot integration, auto replies to things, and that was just the worst. And then they went to this other system, and now they're with a kind of new integrated system, and this help button's supposed to help dramatically. So we'll see. Usually my problems, and I guess this will help. I've talked to him in depth about it. I need to do it once before I'm ever going to discuss it with people, because I don't want to confuse people. But supposedly, I mean in depth, I'll tell you guys, but supposedly that help button allows you to take pictures if you're out of cell range and at least, I don't even understand, because if you're out of cell range, I don't understand how it would let the system know, but you can take your pictures of the drop-off on your camera and then get back into range and then upload them, which I know you can upload them, but usually the old system would say you're not near the house, this isn't the drop-off when you get back. So if I went and dropped something off and then I got back into cell range, it would say you're not at the house, and I've already dropped it, let's say. There's no cell out there in that new development. It was nice that this North Glen location was this is the other one that maybe all the micro centers aren't that, I mean, not that great. They're still great, but they open on the nose. Like they'll stand there with the key until 7 and then unlock it. The bigger centers like the North Glen, which is still only a tenth the size of Parker, my favorite one, but the North Glen one was open when I got there at 6:30, so that was good. They were a little crowded, but yeah, but supposedly gig-wise that's fixed. So I know you've talked to him too, but I've talked to Jesse a few times. In fact, I got with him the other day about a couple other issues that they need to take care of. And I actually had to, it was like It was like bartering. It felt really strange. It was like bartering because I had to, when he was saying that, you know, people will be dinged for, people were, I don't know if you know this, Tim, but people were picking up, and I see Cody's in here and some other people that do Curri. But if you got dinged, if you had if you had a scheduled morning delivery, I've always told you guys never unassign, and that stands true. Never self-unassign. But sometimes they unassign you for random reasons too. And so you might be on your way to it, you've already engaged it, and they might unassign you. Now, he said that, I told, you know, he knew about, like, I said, but some people don't self-unassign because they don't want to get that ding. So they're like, if they wake up late, they're just like, oh, I just won't self-unassign it. And they'll just wait until you guys reassign it. And that was not a ding on them. And he said, oh, that's going to be a ding on them from now on. From now on, if you accept a scheduled order and you don't show, you're going to get a ding no matter what. So if you just thought, oh, I've done this before and they'll unassign me and reassign, you're going to get it. You're going to get a strike. But I said, but you got to make up for that too. I've started this delivery because they're driving, they're focused on the driving. And I said, you guys just can't do that. And he wasn't even really thinking about that. He was like, yeah, that's a good point. And he goes, that's fair. And then he got back to me and said, we're going to do that. So from now on, when you hit engage, they're not going to reassign it to anybody else. It will be your order like it should be. And again, guys, that's really rare that happens, but every once in a while it does. Nice if I knew where I was. Maybe I should open up a second mapping app just to see where the fuck I am. Okay. See if it has it, maybe. What was it? 9443. Okay, this one says good. I'll go with this. We'll run them both. Alright, smack that like, guys. I know I can't tell how many people there's in here, especially when I get in these weird areas where the cell gets a little low. It's so weird. It'll say 2 and then it'll say 14 and then it'll say 5. Again, YouTube. I don't know. The YouTube interface, I mean. I guess Ellen was just doing a drive-by hello. Tim, are you kidding? Come on, man. Of course I knew that. I've been making jokes since you got it. And it's awesome, but I've been remember? I was the one that said put free candy on it. Tim has the sketchy looking free candy van. However, it does that's it's such an awesome thing to have. It should up your game. Oh, hi, Ellen. Yeah, so Ellen, my boss, or the guy I work with for when I do projects for Laser, he's wanting to go out to Vegas, and he wants me to go out too, because they want an outdoor intro with some lasers for the new the Sphere. So he asked me if potentially some point next month, could I fly out for 2 days and help him look at a full install? I guess it's on the where the opening is, or where you enter the arena outside. They want like 4 or 5 lasers to be doing some projections before the show, before the sphere goes off, because I know on the outside the sphere shows things too. But I was like, hell yeah, I'm stoked about that. So I might be out there for that. And this time, if I am, well, we can hook up. We can hook up for dinner or something. Or lunch. I'd probably be over there, but I've wanted to see that thing super bad anyway. And I don't know if U2, like, obviously U2 has a stand there, but I don't know if, like, I'm hoping that they're planning on switching it out. It's not be U2 and then nothing. I'm hoping it's probably going to be different bands that make a stand for a long time, is my guess. But Soda, don't be using that fucking language in here. Don't talk about Rodeo, bro. But good morning, my friend. Hate Rodeo. Roadie's as unethical as DoorDash. Roadie's a bad word in here now. What's up, Vinny? How you doing, bro? Now I'm traveling into deeper fog. This is weird. I've seen a little bit of ice, some rain, but fog all the way down to the tires this morning. I mean, like, if I let you, like, look out there. That's lifting too. Like, it was that that road closed sign, I couldn't have seen the road closed. Maybe I would have seen the red if I was coming at it for about the first hour and a half I was driving this morning. It's gnarly out here. Right now, it's like, it's still, like, if you just got out right now, you'd be like, oh crap, it's really foggy today, but this is nothing now.
We are audio and video recording this ride for your safety.
Here's my point, Bud Soda, is that with legislation coming up, there's apps like Shipt are offboarding people. Apps like Grubhub are offboarding people. Apps like Rodeo are lowering pay. What do these three have in common? Shipt is owned by Target. Grubhub has affiliation with Amazon, and Rodeo is with UPS. So 3 gig apps that work for 3 companies, or that are sub apps of 3 companies that were around, brick and mortar companies that have been around for a long time, are now the ones that are lowering pay, cutting drivers out. They're getting ahead of this legislation. So my point is, we don't see the other apps doing it that base totally on the app driving. They don't have these brick and mortar old school businesses behind them, but the ones that do are already making moves to, like, downgrade the amount of people, because even though we're independent contractors, part of the legislation in almost all of the states involves, like, they're going to be taxed on the number of independent contractors they have. So, like, let's say that they have 10,000 and only need 1,000. They're gonna suffer pains for basically oversaturation is going to cost the company business in almost every state. The apps. So the apps are already starting to make moves now before the end of the year or the ones tied to other companies. I don't know. Just glitching. Usually, or is like some superstition thing that brings people in. Glitch. Yeah. So it's funny you say that, Gigwise, because John Theory posted a community post, and I learned Shipt. Damn this thing. I better stick with it now. John went to use Shipt again, and it said log in, and he logged in, and it said something like you've been deleted. or your account's been closed. It wasn't even like reset your password. It's like you're done just by the email. And so I was like, I once in a while look like I do with Instacart and Shipped. So I opened my Shipped and I wanted to look, and I had to re-log in, and same thing. It said your account's closed. So I know that they knocked a lot. Like if you hadn't had activity in 2 or 3 months, you're done on Shipped, probably. If you haven't opened Shipped in a while and you haven't done one in 3 months, open it right now. I bet you you have been canceled. So they didn't even, no warning. They just, and it's not like the Grubhub nationwide sweep, which again proves the point too. That nationwide sweep they did, and then if you just kind of contacted them, I never did because I don't get enough Grubhub here. I was so, I was offended at the fact that they just did a sweep across the country of offboarding people, and then thought well, if they call, we'll put them back on. And no, I'm not going to do that. That's ridiculous. That shows that your model was crap, and now you realize you might get in trouble for it, so you just offboarded anybody that hadn't done anything in a minute. So, but the Shipped one is different. Like you can't. John tried to fix his. Can't. You now are banned from Shipped. So it's really weird. My Shipped rating was, I think it worked on a 5.0 system, right? Mine was a 4.9. And I had 3 preferred customers, and that's only the 3-4 months I did it. I mean, it's crazy. I'm one of their higher rated drivers, but because I was not using the app, they said you're gone. Yeah, I mean, Ship wasn't that good, but then the other night I did a 2-hour live with the Long Island Dash Experience with Lou and Mary. They've been doing Shipped for about as long as me. And for a long time, they were like, we don't even turn Shipped on, it's crap. Now they've been doing lots of Shipped, and they said it's gotten a lot better. It's probably gotten a lot better because they offboarded 2/3 of the drivers in the country. Or not offboarded, deactivated. Permanently. Which again, to me, is just ridiculous. Oh, Gigan did too? Or for a reason though, okay. I still don't agree with it because I still think that, again, guys, these are the bigger companies who are looking ahead at legislation. Again, don't think of it as the apps. It's Target, UPS, and Amazon/Grubhub who work together. And obviously being on the Amazon platform, they're going to make sure Grubhub's understanding things. So only the 3 big ones are the ones offboarding right now like crazy. But guess what? After the new year, when the legislation gets slapped down and DoorDash and all these other companies read it, just watch. They're going to suffer the same penalties for all the drivers they have. And that's going to be a big problem because they will start offboarding. They'll start the littlest things. You were 1 minute late, you're off the platform. Don't I get a warning or a strike? Nope, you're done. Yeah, the other thing too, gig-wise, perfect point. The thing about it is I'm not a big fan of Shipped, but when I onboarded, it was early November 2021, and from Thanksgiving through Christmas, and even the early part of the new year when the other apps were dead because they did returns too, I was killing it, man. And I was killing, I remember I did some videos even where I would somebody wanted one of those mega Lego sets that are $150 and 1,200 pieces or whatever, $200, whatever they are. And I had a client who wanted one of those, and then I got there, it was gone. I took a picture and I sent it to him, and I said, these are the last 2 left. And by that I meant they were 2 different ones, but there was 1 of each left out of 8 of the big sets. And she said, buy them both. And she was stoked with me for that, just for sending the picture. But the holiday, oh my gosh, now I'm back into full fog again. See, look at, this is what it was like in pitch black with ice and rain coming down and moron drivers tweaking. So Yeah, when that happens here at a mile high and that pressure's low, and then you get people who are late for work who really don't give a crap. Yeah. This is a crazy day. But I am, this is my second delivery. Today's was, it was, it's in my notes. I think it's 52 miles, $119. Got a, first pickup was 5:30, and that was just some plumbing stuff. And then it took me near where I needed to go, and then I just had to do some highway. Oh, that's where I was supposed to go. Show me this one. Oh, no.
We are audio and video recording this ride for your safety.
Oh my god, I'm playing traffic. All right. Now, what weird way do they have me go into this thing? Now I'm back to rain. Yeah, and I saw Vinny's comment about we're supposed to get snow by this weekend. Yeah, so it was 82 yesterday for a high, and it was whatever, 58 in the night for the low. And on Sunday, it's supposed to snow here in Denver, not just in the high country, in Denver. And it's supposed to be, I can't remember what it was, 32 for a high and 16 for a low. But then it pops right back up, just like Denver always does. Then it goes like back up like 20 degrees. And winter's weird here because the city doesn't get the worst weather. We just get little batches of it. You're good. Come on. People are just waking up, and like that person was freaking out by the Josh, laugh all you want, bro. I live here because of the snow. I'm stoked, man. I'm all set up for search and rescue. I'll be snowboarding 3 days a week. So I'm gonna do my morning Curri runs and get up and ride, and then I'm gonna be up there on the weekends doing some stuff. Oh, so the leg, sorry, Bud Soda, I'm trying to drive here too, but yeah, so the Legos, she ended up tipping me in the app, but she also, when I came up, and it was only like a 10 item Christmas order that she needed. The other items were easy to find. Didn't take me that long. She tipped me $100 cash too. And I had a few cash tips then. This was November 2020 or December 2021. So this was not in 2020 in the hard pandemic. This was just, I mean, it was still, things were still a little weird, but it wasn't bad. And people weren't like crazy tipping like they used to be, but I got a handful of nice Christmas bonuses. So clearly the people who pay the $5 or whatever it is membership to be on Shipped, please let me go through. Clearly they have an understanding of tipping us. They pay for a subscription. They don't mind tipping. So there were perks to Shipped. The problem became that, like everything, it got so oversaturated. There really wasn't much there to be had. And if you didn't have enough preferred customers, you were screwed. It's one of these. What is it? 9443. It's this one. I might have to be breaking into a house here. I'm gonna take you guys with me in case something happens. And I got witnesses. You guys ever seen handles on a garage door? So if you guys didn't know, that's how easy it is to get into the pre-builds garages. And if you can't, just go in the front door. And if that front door is locked, go around back, go in the back door, and then go through the garage and open it, because sometimes they'll have a clamp lock. So I'm gonna set this down because I gotta take this in. And then I'll be back. All right. So this is a perfect example. Don't be the morons that leave it out here, because that's outside, guys. Put it in the garage. Sorry. What's up, Deborah? How are you? Good morning. Let me see. All right. So now just give me another curry, guys. Let's go.
Recording this ride for your safety.
Yeah, I know. You're gonna audio for my safety. I appreciate you looking out for my safety. All right. Now we're gonna hope and get another curry on the way out. Let's see what happens. Yeah, it was gig-wise. I was just flipping over to. I'm gonna move the Curri app to my other phone. My other phone isn't reliable as much, but But I'm gonna have it on there just for the days I do these, because I mean I do so many curries that most of the time I can just use this one when I'm not living. Hey Dash Theory, what's up? Good morning. I was just talking about you, dude. We actually, a bunch of us in here were just talking about same thing happened to me as happened to you, John. I got I saw your community post, so I went to my shipped, and I logged on, and it I put in my email, I put in my password, and I know what it was. And it didn't say reset your password. It gave me that same thing that you have. And I know a bunch of other people have been getting it too. You know, you're done, you're canned, you're deactivated, or whatever the hell it said. But I saw it with you first, and I was like, man, I should check. I wonder if I am. And I was. It's like for inactivity or something. But how it worded it in the app was different than that. I can't remember. I don't think I've ever seen John in one of the morning curry streams. Good morning, John. What are you doing up so early? That's probably your other job, huh? Oh, it's too hot. It was freezing all day now. I'm like, damn, dude. Yeah, I knew you were always up for your other job, but yeah, it's been a little bit of a crazy morning. Guys, out here, so out here it's 7:42 a.m. and I'm now done with my first two curries. I made $119. So yeah, I get up early for these, but I do two every morning, and I mean it's pretty cool. It's usually not quite this early. It's usually about 8:15 when I'm actually done with the second curry if I take it out of Parker. But out of Northland that was a little quicker today. But yeah, I mean, so it's usually 5:30 to 8, so 2.5 hours, and I'm usually 100 to 125 up. So I mean that's it allows me to go home. But right now, as I'm driving back to my part of Denver, I am hoping to get that third curry, because I always take that third one, and then I go home because it's not worth sitting out. And then I start taking them around 11 when people start dropping the ball, because a lot of people take things and don't show up. Oh, did you? Oh, really? Did you get? I mean, John, did you get one? Did you get a reactivation call? So, or whatever, you went through this thing, you called support. For those that don't know John, I mean, like, you guys have seen him on the round table, but for those that don't know, John always he's good about that. He pushes that, like, he doesn't get lazy about it. He is always like, hey, I'm gonna figure out why, and I'm gonna see what's up. Even if like you weren't gonna use it, he'd do that. He's just kind of like, he gets investigative. But okay. Yeah, because my question is, what I was talking about before you came on was that Grubhub did that national offboarding. Shipped is doing it, and Rodeo is starting to give a no strike policy. Like, one strike, you're done. I know a lot of people who have had no strikes, have had perfect records with Rodeo, and if you screw up now, and this is of the last like 2 days, this is not a thing that's been going on. And if you look at those companies, who are they? Grubhub's paired with Amazon temporarily. UPS owns Rodeo, and what was the third one I was just saying? But they're all owned by the big companies, and the legislation coming out is going to try and limit the oversaturation. And if they don't limit the oversaturation to a degree, taxis did this a while back, so it's nothing shocking. But they're going to get penalized lots of money if they are oversaturating the crap out of markets. It's basically a way that states are going to be able to look into the company's data. And I don't know if you guys saw, but there was a landmark case in Denmark that is demanding, and they've already appealed it and lost again. I don't know that they can appeal it again over there. I'm trying to figure this out because it looks like by December 1st they have to turn it over. They have to turn over the algorithm for Uber Rideshare to the government because they think they were scamming people over there. So Uber needs to turn over their algorithm to Denmark. John, you got a low pressure system? You got a lot of fog there today? I know you're in Phoenix, it's different, but we do share a little bit of mountain weather. But this morning was like borderline dangerous being out on the highway. Especially when it was dark. It was crazy. I couldn't see anything, man. And if you guys did not see it, we will be talking about it tonight on the roundtable. Cruise Autonomous was kicked out of California. Get your asses out. And there's a federal probe going on to see if they need to be shut down entirely. So awesome. I've been saying it forever. Everybody, everybody said like, dude, they're not going anywhere. Yeah, they are going somewhere. They already got kicked out of California. And the federal probe is looking where they were supposed to be going next, and they're looking at shutting down Austin, and now Cruise is based out of Ford Motor is not real happy about it. That's for sure. So it'll probably be nice here later too. You know how, I mean, we joke here in Colorado a lot, but it's right around this time of year that it stands true that we see 4 seasons in a day. I mean, you could go from fog, we had rain, a little ice, a little bits of snow, cold temperatures, and now it's already warmed up. It's already like 40 degrees now, and the fog's lifting. Watch, it'll be like 60 and sunny today, and then it'll go back down. But oh wait, there's one. What is that one? Denver to Aurora. No, I can't do that one.
Audio and video recording this ride for your safety.
Hey, what's up, Carnifitch? How you doing? $22 miles for $29. My guess is, knowing you like I do, you're not doing that. But maybe you are. I don't know. Unless you meant to put 2 miles for $29. Here's one, Aurora to Fort Collins, $90, 70 miles. With the fog and the traffic, not doing that one. on the last mile yesterday. I even was telling you guys I don't like doing to Fort Collins because there's not even other apps that sometimes help me justify it and get partials back or something. It's usually nothing. It's usually I got to count on just that and a deadhead back. So that would be 140 miles for 90 bucks. I'm not doing that one. Not with low hanging pressure like this and the way people are driving. But it's not far off from my base jump. You guys know that the way I do it is the minimum. And again, if it's 1,000 miles, I can break my rules and look at it and really break it down if I want it or not. But my general rule is $1 a mile going there minimum, 50 cents a mile deadheading back. So for 70, I would need what, $105. So it's only like 15 off. So if it goes back up, if it were to go up to 110, I'd probably do it even in this fog. We'll see. Some people might be lazy about getting up today because of the weather. But probably some newbie grabbed it. This light is like having teeth pulled, man. Come on. Let's go. But yeah, dude, awesome about Cruise Autonomous. It was that same situation too, that one we talked about where the driver in the one lane, a human driver, hit the person, and it's exactly what I said. That Cruise Autonomous should have seen the person crossing the road and just stopped. But because it's, even with all the other problems, the fire trucks smashing into cruises, tow trucks removing them, mayor wants them out, fire chief wants them out, police chief wants them out, county commissioner wants them out, but Governor Newsom let them in, and they still said no, they got to go. The final straw was that person that got run over, but the person got clipped by a human driver, knocked into the other lane who was crossing out of a crosswalk, and even they determined, same thing we talked about, that the LiDAR should have detected that and the cruise should have stopped, because those, unlike us human drivers, like, they are supposed to stop if somebody's doing something, like just stop and put their hazards on because they don't have a human driver. So while they're in testing, they're supposed to do that. And I know there's a lot of problems with them stopping in intersections and clusters going on in Austin. So even Austin's looking at kicking them out, and that's about as free of a city as they have to test in. So it's pretty crazy. But I love it. I love that they're getting shot down. And Ford Motor's pissed, dude. They're pissed. Because if you aren't familiar, Ford is the major auto company that's working with Cruise, and so they had a lot of faith in this program. And this program's, it's just trash. You're doing live human testing with machines that work at a 65 to 70% efficiency rate. So weather affects them, this affects them, that affects them. You know, a cone stops them. Come on, guys. I mean, there's no two ways around it. You gotta know this, even the company Cruise knew, these are not street ready, but let's put them on the street. Come on. We're gonna rip into Cruise tonight. Or I am. Everybody can jump in if they want. I'm here into Cruise tonight. I've had it. We're gonna have a little party tonight about it. And Vinny, if Vinny's still in here, I know Vinny keeps back on stocks all day. I'd be interested in Vinny, probably not a lot of it because it's just a little subdivision, but I wonder if Ford is feeling any little dings from this cruise fiasco, because it's now it's in every news everywhere, even news that normally doesn't print on autonomous. I've seen it in publications that never write about autonomous. So I'm happy they're taking those death traps off the road. We're not ready for them, and history will show how stupid we have been since 2020, and hopefully we will be able to move forward and learn and not keep repeating these dumbass mistakes that we repeat almost every, I feel like almost every day we're doing something stupid. And it's like anybody, even not in the industry, it's like those kind of stupid moves. You can look at it and go, that's so stupid. How are they getting away with that? That's how I felt about Cruise and all this, and now it's like they're like, get the hell out, and there's a federal investigation going on your company. All right, good. Yeah, that's true, Carnifage. I always think of you being in Vegas as, like, I always think you're gonna have to drive through Vegas. But like with one of the nicer things about Curri is that a lot of times you're picking up in warehouse districts. Where are those? They're usually outside of the city because it's cheaper to get big storage facilities and loading docks and things like that. So, if you're grabbing something from the outskirts of town and you're taking it to another, sometimes you're not taking it like onto the strip or whatever in Vegas, and you're taking it to another easier to get to place. Yeah, maybe then it's not the Vegas traffic that I always think of. Like the Carnifage, last time I was in Vegas, I stayed at, you might not even know where this is. I don't remember, I think it used to be apartments. I've been to Vegas so many times to do laser shows, but I think it used to be apartments. It's around the corner from it's kind of like two long blocks. It might be on Tropicana, but it's like you go down a long block from the old Hard Rock that's now the Virgin, and then you come back towards the Strip. It's like right by that gas station where where Tupac was shot, and it's called the Tuscany Suites, and that's where I stayed last time. And I gotta tell you, man, it was like I felt like it's off the Strip, but even that was like no matter which way you turn, you're just to go a block. It takes like 10 minutes. Like we were going over to the Virgin, and I think we were taking an Uber or something. I did take an autonomous Uber, but that wasn't to the Virgin. But we went to the Virgin twice. One time we took an Uber. The next time we just walked, and we got there quicker walking than we would in a car. Flamingo, thank you. So, did that? Am I right? Did that used to be apartments? Because it wasn't always. I actually really. By the way, guys, if you're ever in Vegas and you don't mind staying just a little off the Strip, the Tuscany was really nice. It had really great restaurants. The price was amazing. It's an all non-smoking facility, so the rooms don't stink like if you've ever been to Vegas. Even in the nicer hotels, the rooms all smell like cigarette smoke. Even the non-smoking, it's like people smoking them, and it's just nasty. But at the time, it was like really nice. The rooms were really big, so I think they were old like efficiencies or. Oh, Ellen's still in here too. So yeah, Ellen, you might know too. Were they apartments? I feel like I even remember them being apartments. And when I stayed there, they definitely had that feel of efficiency apartment. That's kind of the size they were too. They were a little big. They had like not just in one box room, but there was like a little kitchen area, a sitting area, and then there was the bedroom. So look, I believe they were just little small apartments. Yeah, the Tuscany. I think it's the Tuscany Inn and Suites or Suites, and I don't know what it is. It might be Tuscany Resort. Well, what was it then? I mean, because dude, they were in really good shape. Like I know it wasn't the Tuscany forever. I've gone to Vegas enough times that it wasn't Tuscany forever. But whoever had it, if it was just another hotel, when the Tuscany took it over, they did an amazing job cleaning that place up. I mean, even on the property, you feel like you're not in Vegas. It's just nice. And again, the price was like really cheap. Not like circus cheap, but like it was very cheap for a nice room. Yeah, Ellen, I'll stay there like whenever I go to Vegas now, that's where I'll stay. If they have rooms, that's where I'll stay. The price is better than almost everything. They have two they're not big, and they're more like adult pools, but they've got two great pools. They've got 3 4-star or 5-star restaurants. Yeah, I know. I was joking about the circus thing. I only joke about the circus thing, you guys, because when they put the dome behind Circus, which was about 20 years ago, maybe now. I don't even know, maybe more. We did a 2-week opening ceremony with lasers in there. And it wasn't a permanent install, but we had to be out there the whole time. And they gave us a free room for the laser company at Circus. That was a suite. But my boss and I got a different room, and just paid for it. We couldn't stand it. It was disgusting. Plus, at Circus, I don't know if you guys have been there in a while, but it's weird. There's signs up that aren't in any other casino that say, that are everywhere too, that say, do not leave your kids unattended. They will be stolen. It's like, damn. They're like street signs on the posts in the casino. Do not leave your kids unattended. They will be stolen. Okay. Yeah, see, Ellen, you probably don't even know that because you probably are too smart to go in there. Because you know as well as I do, that place is disgusting. I mean, it is disgusting. There is dirt, like in grime, in like little sections. And I normally don't notice those little sections unless the whole place is that kind of dirty. But to be honest, there's dirt and grime in these little I mean, it looks like nobody's ever cleaned it. There's so much dirt that you notice little things, and you'll see like a corner edge or something on a handrail. It just has grime coming out. It's like there's no way somebody's sprayed bleach on that in a year. But I mean, again, you know, for some reason the Stratosphere falls in this category too. I've never stayed at the Stratosphere, but the Stratosphere in Circus, you can usually get a room for $19 or $29, and there's a reason for that. It's because they're disgusting, dude. I think I'd rather go into the underground sewers and live with those people. Oh, the Circus buffet. Oh, that almost made me sick seeing that, Ellen. Just thinking about that. Oh. The last, like, cheap buffet that I got swindled into by people was the Excalibur. And we went to and they're like, no, this one isn't disgusting. We went to the Excalibur, and there were like 3 different things of food that had multiple hairs in them. So I just threw my plate down and left. I was like, it was like 6 of us, and me and another guy went and had a nice breakfast. I think we went to Bellagio and sat out on the terrace there and paid like $30. Had a Bloody Mary and some eggs and stuff and whatever. It was like $30, but I'd rather pay that than 10 for an all-you-can-eat hair fiesta. Crazy. Gower's boy. Yeah, see, problem is you won't pay me that. I would answer it too. You know, but now that it's like got a price on it, because there's no way, man. Yeah. Oh, actually, and the place that we go on the the place we go at the Bellagio too is really nice. It's not in the actual casino. It's in that maybe it is considered the casino. I don't know, but like when you cross over the walkways, you walk through like a bunch of shops and stuff, so you're not in there. What was your question? Mm, will I answer that? Um, the rapper thing, I'm kind of all over the map. I'm probably older than a lot of you guys. I'm from Michigan, so clearly I have a love of Eminem, but I also, I like Nas. I like a lot of rap, to be honest. But I also like a lot of funk. Funk is my jam. That's what I do. And my favorite color is probably, it's pretty generic. It's probably blue, a darker blue. So I got no problem answering it, but you don't need to pay me 500 pounds. And I'm guessing by you putting that maybe you're over in Europe. I don't know. So welcome. Hmm. Come on, Curry, give me one more. Give me one more. Although traffic is getting pretty bad. It's 8 here now. Everybody's going to work, and just like me, they didn't realize this day was going to be like this kind of weather.
We are audio and video recording this ride for your safety.
Hmm. But people in here too. I talked about this. I think, what did I talk about it? I think it was a live stream. It wasn't on the last mile, but get your dot card. Get your dot card, and if you're on Curry, say that you want to do route runner, that you're interested. Once you say you're interested, they'll most probably say we don't have routes available, but we put you on the list. And at that point, you can go get a dot card, and then Curry reimburses you. And then you can use that dot card to go to UShip or some of the websites. I can help you navigate those too. If you guys ever want to email me, go ahead. You guys know how to email me. There's a couple different ways, and you can find it in my about. But you can email me, and and I can help you out with some of the posting boards, because there are posting boards where, yeah, a lot of them are for box trucks, cargo vans, whatnot, but a lot of them are smaller loads too that can be fit into Priuses, SUVs, whatever. So if you are looking to get a dot card, no other company will do that for you. Every other company will tell you to go get one on your own, pay for it. You're an independent contractor, go pay for it. And honestly, even Curri could do that. I wouldn't get mad, because, yeah, I mean, you should have to pay for it. You are an independent contractor, but Curri will reimburse you, and you don't even have to wait till a route's open, but you just have to say you're interested, then email them and say, because afterwards it says, when we do have a route open, you will need a DOT card. Then you can email them and say, can I go get that DOT card now? Do you guys do any kind of reimbursement? You'll get an email back saying, yeah, we'll reimburse you for the dot card, because it also lets them know that you are actually ready to roll with a route if you get one. So it's worth it. It opens up a lot of doors on last mile to you guys. Even on some of the other apps, having a dot card, even if you're not in a 26-foot box truck, can be very helpful. But on the shipping boards, it's almost necessary. They need you to have the dot card. Oh, and Gower's Boy, if you're still in here too, all kinds of old school stuff too. I like a lot of the old school stuff. I like, I like Old Dre. I like Outcast. I like, I mean, there's so many. I've done laser production, video production, lighting, LEDs and cans, staging. A little bit of sound engineering and pyrotechnics for years, so I've worked with many artists. I got my DraftKings dot card. That's not a dot card. I get that you're trying to make a joke, but why are you calling it a dot card? Did you have that on my bingo card? Did I have Outcast on your bingo card? What the hell are you talking about? What's a bingo card? I mean, I know what bingo is, but what are you talking about? Bingo. Oh, what's all entailed in getting a dot card? I mean, it depends on how each state's different. It's for, clearly it's for the Department of Transportation in your state. It kind of, it's to make sure that you don't have diabetes. That's not, and again, if you do, it's not like you're disqualified. A lot of truckers clearly might. But you need to, if they test for it and you do have it, then you need to be on treatment for it, and you need to be able to prove that to get the dot card. So it can be a multi-step, but it's kind of making sure you don't have any ailments that could impair your driving on long hauls. '60s music? Not really my jam, Josh. But gig-wise, I mean, depending on the state, a dot card can cost you $100 to $300. So they're not cheap. And the fact that Curri will reimburse it, I would just get, even though, like they did it for me, because when I did Route Runner, the first time I did Route Runner, they didn't need it. The second time, the second time I did Route Runner, they did need it. And so it was pretty easy. I just went in and got one, and they reimbursed it immediately. But I do know of other drivers too who have selected, yes, I'm interested in Route Runner, and it does that, like, okay, we'll keep you in mind when a route opens up. And at that point, once you've hit I'm interested, you can email them and say, well, can I go get my dot card now so that when one opens I'm ready? And they'll say yeah, and you can ask them about reimbursement, like, and do you guys pay for that? Just act like you don't know, kind of thing. Just say, so if I go get it, do you guys pay for that? And everybody I know who's done that, they've said yes. I know probably 7 people that have done it. 6 or 7, I'm trying to think, but I was kind of counting myself, so. Steve's a big fan of the New York Dolls. You guys, you'll never pin me down because I love all music genres, and I really mean that, like, truly. Like, one of the bars I bartended at was a punk bar. It was all punk rock. So, I like all genres of music for real, because when you work in production, even genres you might not love, you start to appreciate, just because the production itself side of it and how much work goes into it. You just develop an appreciation for artists who really put everything into it. No, Josh, I ain't gonna fucking do that, dude. I can't do that on my live streams. I can't put Nas and shit on. I'm not getting a strike on my channel, bro. I know better than that, bro. Come on. When I put stuff like this on, when I put funk like this on, I pick live shows from YouTube or whatever that I might be playing, they can't figure out what that is, so they can't strike you for it. I mean, maybe they could, but they don't. And it's weird, if you guys aren't real familiar with YouTube, sometimes they'll give you if you play music, sometimes they'll give you a strike that says this video can't be monetized, which isn't a strike, it's more like a warning. But it totally depends on the artist. And it doesn't mean they have to be like this level of artist. Like, it doesn't have to be a Beatles or a Michael Jackson type thing. It could be some band where you're like, really? They're gonna get me a strike? There's no rhyme or reason, but some bands just get you outright strikes. So be careful. Doesn't matter if you're monetizing the video or not. If you play the wrong music, you will get a strike. Yeah, so Bud Soda, when it does that, that's usually not a real strike, though. That ends up as like a yellow strike, and it says it can't be monetized, and you're not in trouble, and you didn't get a YouTube strike, but Have you really never, are you laughing about it because you have had copyrights or you have not? I mean, I get some copyrights that I've even had some that said, there's some oddly that say like you can't use that clip, or you can, you'll get partial. So there's some stuff that like you'll split the earnings so that you'll get a half earnings on your video, but the band gets half. So yeah, I would just watch it. And like Bud Soda says, kills my watch hours. I would think that that's something that if you're putting the wrong band in, even if you don't get a strike, they might start going, dude, don't put him up in the algorithm because he keeps playing crap that we're telling him not to play. Even though it's not a strike, it's a non-monetization and he's not monetized yet. He will be soon, Bud Soda, but until he is, they're like, dude, this guy's playing music that even though it's not a strike, we don't like this. Oh, yeah. You don't know how to go. Oh, you just go, Bud Soda, you just go into Studio and you can clip, you can do two things. You can either say mute the section that has the music and then it can go back to monetized, or you can, or you can say trim that section out. And what it'll do is literally just trim out the section where you played the copyright. So it'll be a little bit of a weird gap, but I always, if any of the few times I've gotten knocked for doing music like that, I trim it out. I don't mute it. I trim it out, and so there's just a quick little gap on the video. But I'd rather have it just trimmed out. Um, yeah, I'm sitting here. I'm gonna sit here for another few minutes, see if I get a copyright trolls. Well, it's because it's because they've digitized all the music, so they can tell when that algorithm matches up. Like even if you take a Michael Jackson live, and he were to do something a cappella, they'll be able to match that and say that's Michael Jackson. That's this song. Don't screw with us, and they'll give you a strike. So it's. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can gig wise. You can clip out. Again, I do the trim. I don't do the mute. There's two selections. There's mute, that section, and you can. And I think there's another one too. I think there's mute and replace. So you could mute it and then put something back over it, because even if it mutes your voice too, you can go back and narrate over it or whatever you want to do over that section. So if it was a really important section, like the height of your video, and you had music going and you didn't want to trim it, you could mute it and then go back in and add narration where you can just talk over it. But you can also just mute it, or you can trim it. I always just trim it. I think trimming it's the best way. Yeah, by trimming I mean cut it out. Yeah. Bud Soda, you might have to do it from a computer. I don't know. I don't think I've ever done it in the studio, and I would have to go away from this. But when we're done, I will look for you. I'll look in studio, and Tim might know too. But I think you might have to go onto a computer to do it. I'm not sure. It might do it from studio. I don't know, from the app. But if you log in on a computer to your YouTube and go to studio, and then go to that video. Oh, so see, Bud Soda found it, I think. So you can, I guess you can do it through the studio too. You should be able to. I mean, you just go to the one you got the strike on. You go into the details, you'll see it, and then the options are right there, at least on the computer. So I would think they'd be in the app too. Yeah, that happens to me too. Derek, what's up? Dude, the fog this morning, I don't know about you, bro. Wow. And I was up in, you'll know this, Derek lives here too, so he'll know. I was going up to North Glen, Sherman-Williams, and around Thornton area, there was some tweaker, and I swear to these, you can tell when somebody's not smoking weed. This dude was smoking tweak or something, and we know, Derek probably knows too. I hate to, what does Daniel Tosh say? It's not a stereotype if it's always true, but a lot of Thornton people are tweakers. I don't know why. I have no idea why that is, why that space is tweakers, but yeah. So I had some tweaker getting on the highway trying to like bust me over, and I was like holding my lane. I'm like, dude, just slow down. You're coming on. And he actually like gave me a quick fake like that, and I had to like jog into the other lane with the fog. I was so pissed. I almost like put my hazards on, pulled over, got in front of him, and I was like just about to hit the hazards. I was on my way to pick up my second delivery, and I almost hit the hazards on and was like, pull the fuck over. I was like, I don't care if you're a tweaker, man. We're gonna fight in this fog. I don't care. Like, I was pissed, man. Yeah, that's true, Tim. So like, but so you might have got one from being in a shop or something, like in a store or whatever, and there was some music playing, because that'll happen. That's why when I do these live ride-alongs for Curri, it's one thing, but like if I were to do Instacart or something, or one of those that like you do, Bud said, I'm sure there's a lot of copyright stuff, and some of it might just get missed, but you got music playing through that. Even Muzak, if that's still around, like that crappy elevator stuff that they used to sell to businesses, that will get you lit up too, because Muzak requires a license and you don't have one. Yeah, dude, seriously, Derek, it's like Thornton is like such. I worked with some people from Thornton, in fact, at the bars, and they weren't tweakers, but they even used to tell me about how bad it was. They're like, dude, all my neighbors are tweakers. Yeah, yep, it's I-25. Get off at 120th, and then you go south a little bit towards 104th. And then you go back in towards the highway. That's exactly where it is. I'm surprised you know where that is. How do you know where that is? Like, that's such a random Sherman-Williams to know about, because it's it's buried behind a neighborhood. Yeah, gig wise, if somebody does that blasting a porn clip thing, like, were you able to kick them out quick enough where it didn't get you a flag? Or that's why, guys, I mean, I used to a little bit, but I never put, I really, or, very, I don't think I've done it in a long time, and it probably, I wouldn't again, but I don't put I don't put a StreamYard link, like a lot of these lives, that just that put the StreamYard link to join and then pin it to the top. I don't do that crap, because you will get people who will get you in trouble. There are trolls who look for those to get you in trouble. And we all know that trolls don't even necessarily operate for a reason. Sometimes trolls just operate just to screw with you. They got nothing better to do, so they're like, I'll just wreck this guy's channel. Hey Jody, how are you? Jody, why don't you what? Hey, wait, I'm in here. Why don't I barely ever get to do this because I'm usually in StreamYard. Why don't you have a wrench? There, now you do. Now you have a wrench. See, but yeah, okay, but so gig-wise, when you're talking about you used to have music playing in the back all the time, Flex plays music all the time. So is it only if you're monetized? Again, I always feel like with Flex, it's like he's just rolling the dice that it's not going to be one of those bands that's going to get him in trouble. Because again, we just don't know who they are. You know, I mean, you can't just say, oh, it's just superstars. It's just people that are on this level. It can be the littlest band from Germany could get you in trouble. You just don't know. Sometimes it's just, hey, you used and there's also the warning that says you've used this music. Like I used a band out of Chicago called Vintage Trouble. They're pretty small, and it said, that was one of the shared revenue ones. It said it gave me another option of you can leave this in here and split the revenue with the band, and I did. I could have removed it, but at that point I'd already done the live. Most of the people had already been through, so the replay ones were like, okay, I'll just split it with them. I don't care, I'll leave it in there. I used copyright-free music on my Spotify playing in device I was streaming from. Copyright-free music, but you used a lot of music that I would think would be copyrighted gig-wise, didn't you? Am I wrong? Jody, they probably, they don't get away with it. They just can't monetize it. There's a lot of bands that you don't get a strike for it. You just can't monetize it. So if your whole stream is like Flex's through the day when he drives, they play music, he can't monetize those because he probably, if he looks in his, he would have like how we're talking about, if you play one song, you might have to, like Bud Soda's removing one right now from a clip so that you can monetize it. Flex would have to remove 50 songs. And the thing is, it can only trim out one at a time too, and it does take about like 5 hours to trim each song. So you'd have to go through every 12-hour live and like remove 50 songs. But yeah, I'm surprised that. So when you were doing the copyright free, were you monetizing your streams gig-wise, or were you just not monetizing them and you weren't getting in trouble? Because that can happen too. You can play a lot of music that won't get your channel in trouble. You just can't monetize your videos. My point bomb guy's name was John White. He's probably changed it by now though. Yeah, see, I don't let people into my stream if I don't know them and I didn't give them. That's why I like text or yeah, I've heard gig-wise just blasting like music like that, like Rob Zombie and stuff, like just blasting it at night. And I'm like, oh man, this has got to be getting you some flags, but it's probably those kind of flags that don't get you in trouble. You just can't monetize it. So, like, in my opinion, maybe I'm wrong gig wise, but a lot of those you probably could have left up. Yeah, I'm the same way. If I do put one accidental thing in, I usually just trim it out so I can monetize it for myself. So, but guys, with the weather, it looks like this is gonna be it. I'm home, so I'm gonna go in, have some breakfast. Yeah, misfits, that kind of stuff. They want their money. But yeah, so we got lots of by the way, guys, on Thursdays this week it's David and I, but starting next week we got CEOs through the end of the year. We got Gridwise CEO, we got Moves, we got next Thursday, a week from today, we have Delivered, Chris Hefferman, and then we've got some others too till the new year of CEOs that we're going to be having on that's 7 p.m. on the Para channel and on mine. We stream them on both. But then catch Roundtable tonight, because we're going to rip the crap out of Cruz. I'm so glad Cruz got just doxxed from California. And they're about to get some serious pain put on them from the federal probe. So, yeah, if any of you guys, I know a lot of you guys do Delivered. If any of you guys have questions for Delivered, please email them to me, put them in a video, comment, whatever. Happy to ask them. Yeah, we're gonna have Chris on, and he was happy to do it. So looking forward to that. And he seems like a guy that'll be pretty open. So, I'm not going to dodge questions. If you guys have good questions, I'll ask them. That's how I roll. So, yeah, I know, Josh. I know. Delivered can lick my ass. Is that a question? You want me to ask him that? Can Delivered lick Josh's ass? All right, guys. Well, 5 o'clock, or I'm in Mountain Time. 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific is the Gig App podcast by Para, and 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific is Roundtable. See you guys tonight.